Hey, welcome to video number 229 of Walker This Way with Hazel Walker, the queen of all things
B&I, networking, and traveling.
traveling. I am Mark Simmons. Hazel Walker, where are you right now?
I'm in Wales. I'm at a friend's house in Wales. I've been in Greece for the last 4 weeks, and so I'm finishing up my little European tour in Wales. Nice. So I went from very hot to very cool.
Yeah. You had a good time? Having a good time?
I have had a great time. I've made some new friends who I can easily go visit anytime I want, and got to see a lot of amazing history. And so, yeah, I've had a really good time.
Yeah. And, just being honest here, it's been a while since Hazel and I have filmed the video. So today I've already removed her from the meeting when I meant to just rename her, had to pick a whole new link. And instead of hitting record, I just about ended this meeting because it's been so long. I forgot how to do this. So, but it's like riding a bike. It'll come back.
It'll come back to you.
Again, I apologize for removing you.
Just kicking me out.
Yeah. So Hazel, while you've been gone, my one side of my butt is sore because I keep getting bit in the butt. Things keep coming back and biting me. And you have this saying, which I use all the time: no good deed goes unpunished. I kind of wish you never told me that years ago. I feel like my life might be better. But and it reminded me of at this moment of years and years ago, I had a house and I had a tenant, just built a new suite, first one to arrive, did everything I could for this guy, young guy, new to Vancouver. And so he was there for quite a few years, but after the second year or so, he had a girlfriend who ended up getting, somehow, I don't know if she got evicted from her place or whatever, but she had 3 cats. And he said, Mark, she's got nowhere to go tonight. And I had this no pet. I was allergic to cats, had no pets thing in the house. She understood, but she had these 3 cats. Do you mind if she stays one night? I'm like, all right, one night. Thank you. It was a lot of help. Great guy. One night turned into 3 nights. And I'm like, she's still there. She's got to go. I know it's just been really hard to find her a place. And then 5 days later, one of the cats comes upstairs to my place, like walking up the stairs. So I go downstairs and I'm like, I said to him, his name was Dave. I said, Dave, I gave you 1. You had 3. We're at 7 now. This has got to end. This has got to go. And I was really angry about it. And he said to me, well, this is your fault. You said it was okay for her to come here in the first place. Seriously, it was my fault. Which I went ballistic on again. But it's right in that no good deed goes unpunished. I really wanted to help him and help the situation. And it got thrown back at me. And it happens a lot, not just to me, to a lot of people.
It does happen a lot. And so here's why. First off, I use it a lot because we see membership committees and B&I members and people, we constantly see this, people wanting to give second chances to people and third chances and fourth chances and fifth chance. They keep making exceptions, but those exceptions keep coming back to bite them. Mm-hmm. They keep coming back as a problem, and the problem grows over and over because the person never actually, they take advantage of it. And I learned this concept of no good deed goes unpunished because you haven't thought it through, because you make the decision in the moment of an emotion, right? Someone asks you something and you don't want to be mean. And so you make a quick decision and you make an exception and you go, okay, you can have the cats. But now you've got a person with 3 cats that you may well not ever be able to evict because you let them in.
Yeah.
Right? It's like you opened a door and the Trojan horse came through. You let it in. Mm-hmm. And everybody got, how that story went. But I met a guy who works with the homeless people. And I was having this conversation with him about all these solutions I had that we could do all these things. And he said to me, there's an old saying that no good deed goes unpunished. And I went, yeah, I've heard that a lot. And this was many years ago. And he goes, your solutions are very emotional solutions, but you don't understand the real problem. Those solutions won't work for these people because their problem isn't as simple as you think it is. You didn't think it through with the girl with 3 cats and why she didn't have a place. And how it was always going to be hard for her to find a place because she had 3 cats.
Right.
And no one was going to rent to her. Right. But you got caught up in being a nice guy with him. And that's what happens to us. We get caught up in being a nice guy. And then we let people out of their own responsibilities because we think we're doing them a favor, or we think we're doing a good deed, or we think they'll think better of us.
Right.
But the reality is you have to step back and give a little bit of time to think, use some thinking about what is the unintended consequence of this deed. And that's what we never think about.
Right.
What's the unintended? Because sometimes I do good deeds for people and it really makes a difference in their life. Like and they've come back and said that, that really helped me. But I also thought it through when I did it for them because I looked at their life as a whole. And I knew they were going to do good with it. On the other hand, I've made decisions to do something for people. And we see this happen all the time with people who abuse drugs and alcohol, and we want to fix them. But if we looked at their life as a whole and we thought it through, we would know that what I'm going to do isn't going to help. It's just a temporary Band-Aid. So no good deed goes unpunished doesn't mean don't do any good deeds, but think it through what you're doing, that you're being intentional and well-meaning can also do a lot of damage and harm.
Right.
Like you can make a decision to do something that could cause a lot of future harm if you haven't given actual real thought to it.
Right.
And that's why I say to the chapters, to the membership committees, stop making exceptions for people who don't deserve the exception. Right? They've missed 7 meetings and they constantly are always missing meetings, but you just let them keep doing it.
Right.
And they're going to keep taking advantage of it because no good deed goes unpunished.
Yeah. And in those situations, we know in regards to BNI members, when you want to help members out and you make the exceptions, who they ultimately get mad at is us or the chapter members, because you tried to help them. And now when it comes time to actually open their seat or whatever it is, they get super mad at the membership committees, even though they made it happen themselves. They don't take the accountability. They'll blame you. And
they will not take the accountability for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's typically who we're making exceptions for quite often are people who don't hold up their own responsibility and accountability. Because if they did, we probably wouldn't be making exceptions.
Yeah.
We probably wouldn't be doing these things that would make that happen. So they do feel like they always come. I'm here with Sarah. She made a decision last week and this week it's come back to bite her.
Yeah.
She thought she was helping, giving a break, letting it slide. And now it's a problem.
Yeah.
And so that's what you got to think it through. You can't make decisions about helping people without seriously thinking it through and having conversations.
Yeah.
And looking at the unintended consequence.
Definitely. And I know we're about givers gain. We're about giving because you always want to see the good in other people too.
Mm-hmm.
I feel a lot of times we do that because I want to believe the good in you and you're going to whatever. It doesn't always work out, not particularly you, but in that way, it doesn't always work out that way.
Right. In Indianapolis, I quite often get asked by homeless people for some money. They want money because I live near the homeless shelter and I talk to them. But what I do say to them is, I will not give you money, but I will walk over here to this restaurant and buy you dinner. Mm-hmm. I will go over here and buy you something that you might need. And they might tell me 2 or 3 things they need. And I will go do that. And I'm okay with that because they need food at that moment, right? They need food and I can make sure that's going to happen to them. But if I just hand them money, I don't know what's going to happen.
Right.
So you have to think things through and members need to hold members accountable. Right. And not make that we've got policies for a reason.
Yeah. So here's the thing. if you ever want to, I'll challenge you to, fight that theory of no good deed goes unpunished. Go ahead. If you want to have a conversation with me about it, we could sit down and I'll take up 8-9 hours of your time, just story after story after story of proof.
And,
I got the
and
proof.
right now I've made a decision to do something that I know.
Yeah, which could easily
fully come
backfire
back.
and yeah. And for all those reasons, but they're good reasons and it's well intended. So, let's hope. And I'm dealing with stuff too right now that is pretty harsh and is from doing good deeds. So what I thought was, outcomes still to be found. So think about it, think about yourself, think about your lives. What are the good deeds you're doing? Maybe we just need to be able to take a step backwards sometimes instead of diving into things, really.
That's it. Step back. What are
Think
the
about
unintended consequences? How could I help maybe in a different way?
Yeah. Doesn't mean don't do it. It just means think about it first.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. So let's hope this good deed of us putting out this video does not go unpunished for us.
Well, it's good to see you again.
It is. It really is. Looking forward to, getting back into the
groove
of the Walker This Way videos. Until next time, here's a walker.
See you then. Bye.